I wasn't even born in 1999.
If you like that intro, don't forget to like and subscribe. I put a lot of work into that intro. It took almost a minute of filming that I'll never get back in my life. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new and enjoy the video.
Welcome back to And Sometimes Why. It is the most wonderful time of the year. It's not Christmas. It is time for the NBA Finals. Out of the Eastern Conference, we've got the New York Knicks. I know I've been doing a bit on TikTok where I've been saying the Knicks are analytically in this battle with Cleveland, but that was a sweep. And out of the West, we have the San Antonio Spurs, who just won in 7 games against the OKC Thunder. And before we get into talk about Knicks versus Spurs, I wanted to say a few words about Thunder versus Spurs because I think the NBA is in really good hands. The Thunder versus Spurs will be this generation's Magic and Bird. My generation got Warriors Cavs. Some generations got Magic and Bird. You got Jordan running through the East. All of these great rivalries, we have been looking for a rivalry, and the NBA just handed it to us on a silver platter. The Thunder and Spurs are both so young, and they will both see each other, I would have to guess, 5 or 6 times the next 10 years in the playoffs. That's just going to get more and more and more intense every time these teams match up. And as an NBA fan, more than anything, the league is in very good hands as these teams are going to see each other a lot. They're both so young. They're already the two best teams in the league. And this will be the Magic and Bird of the 2020s. I don't know if we'll have a specific Wemby versus Shea, Wemby versus Chet, but these two teams do not like each other, and you can see it. There's no numbers about that, but you can see it with your eyes. They do not like each other. And that will be fun to watch for the next 10 years. The NBA is in very good hands. During this video, I'm going to use a website called Cleaning the Glass made by Ben Falk. It gives a lot of great stats. I'm mainly going to use it for offensive and defensive four factors when looking at the Knicks and Spurs because you can look at regular season matchups, but between an East and a West team, they've only played each other twice, 3 times if you count the NBA Cup. And a 2 to 3 game sample size is not really much that we can get. And those games were so long ago, I would rather focus on what these teams have been doing the past couple months in the playoffs. So we're going to start out with the West and the Spurs. Now, for those of you who don't know, the San Antonio Spurs are headlined by 22-year-old unanimous Defensive Player of the Year, Victor Wembanyama, who is, for those of you who don't know, 7'4". He can shoot, he can dribble, and most of all, he plays amazing defense. It's not even the amount of blocks that he gets, it's the shots that don't even go up because he is there. It is the amount of times you saw it. SGA drives to the rim. Instead of attacking, he kicks it out because guess who's standing there? Wembanyama. There is not a player like him, and I don't think there ever will be. He is 1 in 8 billion. They call him the alien because he's that unique. He's out of this world. He is probably already the best player in the world. But besides that, they have a very good young team with a lot of quality role players. And they have Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, a rookie, the number 2 overall pick, Keldon Johnson, the 6th man of the year, Devin Vassell, Luke Cornett comes in to sub in for Wemby. He had that amazing block in Game 7. Overall, this team had the second best point differential in the playoffs with a plus 10.5. And the only thing, I've got the numbers here on my phone. Their offense was fifth out of playoff teams. The only thing they did above average was free throw rate and effective field goal percentage. But where they hang their hat, as all of you know, the defense. They were the second best defense in the playoffs, and they forced the worst effective field goal percentage for any team in the playoffs. They also did a great job of limiting teams' free throw attempts. They were fifth out of playoff teams in free throw rate. The one thing this team does not do very well is turnover percentage. They were 12th out of 14 playoff teams in defensive turnover percentage, and in the regular season they were 28th out of 30 teams. This team does not really force turnovers. That is a weakness of theirs, but it doesn't matter when the shots that other teams are getting up aren't even going in because you have a 7'4" player standing in the paint waiting to erase any shot. The Spurs won more than 60 games. They had the second best record in the NBA. The only team with a better record was OKC. They just beat them. So they are going to be the favorite in this series, but I do not want to count out the New York Knicks. Out of the Eastern Conference, we have the New York Knicks. And before I go into anything, you guys know I was a Knicks fan for a little bit. I'm a Wizards fan, but I am in New Jersey. I've got a lot of family that are Knicks fans. I will be pulling for the Knicks in this series as much as I love Wemby. Now that that's out of the way, I'm not biased in saying we can't count out the Knicks. I know it's the Eastern Conference. I know their level of competition compared to the Spurs, who took out Minnesota. I think Minnesota and OKC are probably better than anyone the Knicks played. But the Knicks did not just beat teams, they demolished them. The Knicks have a 12-2 record in the playoffs, 11 straight wins. 10 out of 11 of those wins are by double digits. Did I mention that all of their closeout games they won by 30? They beat the Hawks by 50 in the playoffs in Atlanta on their court by 50. They were up by as much as 61. The only two losses this Knicks team had were by 1 point each. They have a point differential, if I'm getting this right, of 21.9. They are winning the games by an average of more than 20 points. That is ridiculous. They have not just beaten teams, they have demolished them. Demolished them so much to the point where parts of this win streak have been the best streak of point differential, the best point differential ever over a 10-game stretch. Count regular season, count playoffs, count whatever you want. Out of NBA history, the best point differential ever. There, you really cannot ask the Knicks to do anything else than what they're doing. They are on a historic run. They are shooting the lights out. They have the highest, they only have the third highest effective field goal percentage, but they have the best offense and the best defense. Now, competition, probably I would lean Spurs having a better defense, but they have the best offense and the best defense. They have been demolishing teams. They have the third highest effective field goal percentage, fifth highest turnover percentage. They're taking care of the ball. Offensive rebound percentage, they do better than the Spurs. Free throw rate, they are pretty average at getting to the line. But then on the defensive end, they are doing a very good job of Rebounding other teams' misses, they're second in offensive rebound percentage on the defensive end of playoff teams, and they are fourth in effective field goal percentage, meaning teams they're doing a great job of defending other team shots. Some of that can be luck. You could say the same thing for the Spurs, but they're doing a good job of forcing misses and then rebounding those misses. They are also a team that likes to get teams to the free throw line. They have been 10th out of 14 teams from free throw rate. But this Knicks team is on a ridiculous run. They're headlined by Jalen Brunson, who is listed at 6'2", but I'm 5'8", and I want to see how tall Jalen Brunson really is because I do not think he is 6'2". They've got Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. I can't hold on. I can't. I've got the Wildcat in the background. I can't not put that out there. That's another reason why I'm pulling for the Knicks. They've got 3 Villanova players. They've got Josh Hart. They've got Mikal Bridges. They've also got OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, Landry Shamet, Washington Wizards legend, has been putting in some amazing minutes, especially in the conference finals. He literally shot 12 for 14 from 3 in the conference finals. That is unheard of. Mikal Bridges was shooting high 60s field goal percentage as a perimeter player. That is unheard of. So many of these players are just on fire to the point where Brunson has not had to be Superman every game. Everyone is involved. Karl Anthony Towns has been a revelation as a passer, as a hub. He's tall. Tall people, when they're good passers, they see things that Steve Nash and Jalen Brunson can't because they're tall. That's just science. I guess you can call it that. This team is deep. This team is experienced. They've been in the playoffs now 4 years in a row, going to at least the second round. They've gone through a lot of playoff games. This is the Spurs' first ever playoff run as this team, as this unit. The fact that they've made the finals doing that is extremely impressive. But experience goes to the Knicks. The way the Knicks are shooting, they can beat anybody, and they can beat the Spurs. But I'm not picking them. I'm sorry. The Spurs won 60 games. They just beat OKC. They have the best defensive player ever. I don't say that lightly. The best defensive player ever. Now, obviously, he's got to prove that for over his career, but we have never seen a defensive player like Victor Wembanyama. We have never seen a player like Victor Wembanyama. And I think the Knicks have Karl Anthony Towns, they have Mitchell Robinson, they have big bodies they can put on him. But the Spurs defense, I think, will be something the Knicks haven't seen yet. And they will be a level of competition much higher than the Cavs and the Sixers and the Hawks. So, with that being said, I am going to pick the Spurs to win in 6 games. I am expecting the Knicks to make this competitive. And if you come back to this video and the Knicks won, and you want to comment and say, "Yeah, you were wrong," I will be very happy if I'm wrong. Because if I'm wrong, that means the Knicks win the championship for the first time since 1973. And being in New Jersey, that would be fun. It's fun to see people just be happy about the Knicks. I'm not even a Knicks fan, but I know a lot of Knicks fans, and I know what it's like to be a fan of a team, a perpetual loser, when they finally break through. The Spurs will probably win this series, but don't count out the Knicks. I really think they have a chance. I really think they can do it. Will they is a different question, but this isn't sometimes why. And it is the most wonderful time of the year because I don't know what I'm going to do for the next couple months before football starts. I mean, there's the draft, but it is the most wonderful time of the year. And I think we're in for an amazing final series. And I will see you guys.